Hello, my name's Angelica and I'll be your social worker today. How are you today?
I'm doing okay.
Alright, my file says here that your name is Caitlin Goffin.
Mm-hmm.
Is Caitlin how you like to be called, or do you have a preferred nickname?
Caitlin's fine. Yeah.
Alright, awesome. How about you tell me a little bit about yourself? Where are you from? Do you have siblings, pets?
My name. Oh, I already told you my name. I'm from Florida, and I have a younger sister,
Mm-hmm.
and my parents both live there, and we have a dog. That's pretty much it. I'm a student at Southern. I'm a junior, so in my third year.
That's exciting. How's that
Mm-hmm.
going for you?
It's going well. It's more challenging, I think, than the years past, so it's always a little adjustment, but I think I'm getting a handle on it at least.
Well, that's really great to hear.
Mhm.
So, just to clarify how we work here today, we're gonna have about 8 minutes to be able to talk today, get to know maybe like what this issue is that you're facing
Mhm.
today, just to get some details so that we can really get to the root of the problem and help you to overcome the trial that you're having right now. And then afterwards, if you'd like, we can reschedule for another appointment just to continue this process together. Um, Everything we say here today will be confidential,
Mhm.
except for in two cases. One, I will have to report if you express anything to me today, if you know information about a child or someone who's disabled or unable to take care of themselves, such as someone who's elderly, that may be being abused or neglected. Also, if you say anything that may lead me to believe that you would like to hearten somebody in any way, I'd have to warn them as well. And then also, if you were hurting yourself or a danger to yourself, I'd have to break confidentiality. Do you have any problems with that today, or do you understand why I would have to break confidentiality?
No, that makes sense.
All right, do you have any questions about how we're going to work today?
Nope. I think I'm good to go.
All right, Caitlin, so how about you tell me why you're here to see me today?
Well, my parents always fought, like growing up, but I think now that me and my sister are out of the house, the fighting has really escalated, and I'm really nervous that they're gonna get divorced. Like, I'm really scared about it. And my sister thinks so too. So we're just kind of really like struggling to adjust to thinking like our parents might not be together anymore, and it's weird. Yeah.
All right, well, I can see that a change in your possibly a change in your environment could be
Mhm.
very difficult. And I just want to say that I really appreciate you so quickly opening up to me about why you're here and some of the things that you may be stressed about. If you'd mind, maybe could you tell me a little bit about what it was like growing up in a home where your parents were fighting? Could you give me an example of sort of what that was like when you were younger?
Um it like they fought the most, I think, in the car, like when we were driving to church or driving to an event or a party or something. And it would just start out as like little things that they'd, like, I guess, push each other's buttons. And it never got like, of course it wasn't like physical or anything, but they would just yell, and me and my sister would just be there and really awkwardly, kind of just being really quiet, because if we talked up, then we'd get yelled at too by my dad and mom because they'd be already heated. So.
So you said that the idea of your parents not being together anymore
Mhm.
makes you really stressed,
Mhm.
and you're trying to wrap your mind around a world where your parents aren't together anymore because,
Mhm.
I mean, they've been a parental unit for you guys your entire life, you and your sister.
Mhm.
So what is it about the idea of them splitting up, do you think, is causing you to be stressed?
It's the idea of that, like, not having a home to go back to, I guess, because it's just gonna be weird with them and one like living in a different place. And even like our dog, like what's gonna happen, because he's an important part of me and my sister's life. And even just like the thought of holidays or birthdays, um, like how are we gonna spend that time, I guess.
Have your sister and you spoken about your concerns about your parents divorcing?
A little bit, probably not as in depth because I think I'm more worried about it than she is. She doesn't really want to talk about it. She kind of like shuts down when we really start talking about it. So, yeah.
So you mentioned that you were in school,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just wondering, what does your support system look like when you're in school? Do you have friends? Do you have mentors that you go to? What does your social life really look like?
I have a few close friends that are really good, so that's nice. At least I have them, but I don't have like any, I guess, adult figures or like parents or moms away from home type of people that I can really talk to. So I feel like that's part of it, as well as I don't have like that adult support or someone that I can look up to that has a strong marriage, and or that can just like be a mom for me up here. Mhm.
All right, so the way that you're talking about not having a mom away from home, you mentioned that you don't really feel like you have someone you can look up to for an example of a strong marriage.
Mhm.
Are you worried that, like, why does that worry you that you don't have someone to look up to?
Because everyone like makes fun of Southern as being like the marriage school and where you're supposed to like find your forever love and everything. But for me, like that's not what I've been like. That just seems like a fairy tale to me. Like it's not real. And but everyone like at all the Vespers, everyone's always making fun of it and joking about it. And like I know that there are some people whose parents are still together. Some of my friends, their parents are. But I just am not close enough to them to see how that actually works firsthand. And I'm nervous for myself. Like, will I ever have a happy marriage, or should I just try to be single and happier that way? Like, I'm not sure.
That is a really huge pressure on yourself
Mm-hmm.
personally. That weight that you're carrying, the idea of if your parents get divorced, will you
Mm-hmm.
be able to have a functioning relationship? And that's such a hard thing to have to be dealing with, but it's also so incredible that you're recognizing that fear inside of yourself right now. Even before your parents may be splitting, I can see that you're very in tune with how you're feeling in the situation, which is incredibly remarkable. You've already picked out certain areas about why this divorce may affect, like, end up affecting your daily life, maybe even your future.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you're here is actually, it's a really, really great sign that you want to be able to. I think what you're telling me is that maybe one day you do want to be married
Mm-hmm.
and you want to have a successful marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it exactly that you're hoping to gain from meeting with me here in the office through these sessions?
Well, I guess just first off, just some like coping, some ways to cope with them being separated and how to communicate with my sister about it. Because, like I mentioned earlier, she kind of closes down if we get too in depth. So I think that's like the best place to start, like ways to talk to my parents and my sister about what's going on.
So what I'm hearing is that communication with your family is your highest priority
Mm-hmm.
when meeting with me, is ways for you to learn how to deal with this change in your life, but more importantly, you want your relationship with your family to stay strong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an amazing, admirable goal. Family is really, really important. I can tell with your concern about not being able to speak freely with your sister that family is important to you, which is a really good thing. I'm also really glad to hear that you do have some close friends at school where, you feel comfortable speaking to them about what's going on with your family?
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
That's a really good thing, being able to express yourself with the people that you're around is a really healthy way of coping,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to confide in them. So, just to recap from what we've spoken about today, you've expressed to me that your parents have been fighting a lot, and they fought in the past as well. But
Mm-hmm.
now that you and your sister have moved out of the house, you are fearful that they have been fighting more. And because of that, you think that they're going to be getting divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And that's causing stress on your daily life and also in your relationship with your sister and your parents as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you're hoping that by the end of our sessions, you have found a way to find coping mechanisms with this huge change in your life. And on top of that, you want to be able to have proper communication with your family
Mm-hmm.
through all of these changes.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's awesome. That's something that definitely we can work towards.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as I've mentioned before, you're at such a great place at understanding what you want and understanding your fears in this situation. And I think that emotional intelligence that you have is really going to help you discover what's going to be important for you and what you need as a support and ways that you think that you can communicate better with your family. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but we're here together to figure out ways that you can make decisions to make your world better and less stress-free, more stress-free. So just to go, just quickly to close, thank you for coming in today. And if you would like to have another session with us, with me, there is the reception desk out front, and you can schedule a new appointment.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome. Have a nice day. Dang it.